Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm going to be doing a full face of first impressions, mainly high-end actually, which I'm really excited for. I recently bought a few purchases online. I brought a few things back from Poland whenever I was over there in the Sephora, so I've been keeping those products for this video, and finally I'm getting to try them. The first product I'm going to use is this Versailles Rose Gold Skin Mist. This is their new facial spray. 24K gold infused hydrate, set and prime spray. That's just the packaging there. It just looks really luxurious, and then inside, as you can see, like the wee gold flecks. So I'm just going to give it just like a wee shake just before I apply it. I'm just going to apply this first of all on my bare skin before I go in with foundation and makeup and stuff, and then I'm also going to use this to set my makeup in place also. Hey! Oh, that smells really nice. This can be just used on like bare skin just to like hydrate the skin just before you apply foundation, and this can also be used like in between applying your makeup to like soak up any excess powders and stuff. And I'm sure you probably could use this sometimes when you're not wearing makeup, just to spritz over your face to just kind of like just revitalize, just rejuvenate your skin a bit, just for that extra bit of hydration. Hey, I am so excited to try this primer. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I bought this as soon as I seen Nicole Guerrero talking about it, and I was sold. I'm just going to start to blend this into the skin. Whenever I'm using the primers for the first time, I don't necessarily like to use a brush because I like to actually get a feel of it. I'm just going to massage this into my skin, and then I'm going to let it sit for just a minute or two, because I think whenever you let it sit for a minute or two, that's it kind of like activating, so it does get tacky. So yeah, it's really sticky. This is just basically just going to like really make your foundation just stick and stay in place all day, I'm guessing. I don't necessarily have a problem with that, to be honest. I think it's because I apply so much foundation that shit ain't going nowhere. I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty foundation. I have a new foundation. It's drugstore, but I'm wanting to do a full face of drugstore first impressions. But I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty foundation because I haven't used this in such a long time, and it does match me whenever I am like tanned. Might be a wee bit too yellow for my tan at the minute, but we'll see. Honestly, do not know why I do not use this foundation more often. It is so nice. And it's definitely sitting nice on top of that primer as well. I don't think I have a brand new concealer that I haven't used before. I'm just going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Away Liquid Concealer. Charlotte Tilbury is definitely one of those higher end brands that I do not actually own a lot of her products. It's not for any particular reason. This is one thing that really annoyed me about this concealer. I have used this concealer twice. This is now my third time, and I hope you can see how much has been used. Like, keeping in mind like the concealer does come up to here, the product, but look how much I have actually had to wind it up. But like, that's ridiculous. And I think this concealer was like 30 something pound, which to me, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. That's expensive. Like, it's definitely a beautiful concealer. It just blends out perfectly. The coverage is beautiful. I just kind of feel like that you just don't get a lot of product in it. Like, how much do you actually get? 4 mil! Is that even normal? Hold the fuck on. You have Kat Von D, 12 mil. Tarte Shape Tape, 6 mil. We have the e.l.f. concealer. Doesn't say, not surprised. We all know what e.l.f.'s like with their packaging. So I'm now just going to do a bit of cream contour with the new Huda Beauty Tantour Cream Bronzer. So this is in the shade Light. That's it there. It actually does look pretty dark on camera and in person. I'm actually going to just apply the cream contour with that brush, and I'm actually going to blend it out with my beauty sponge because I find that this is making it go a wee bit patchy. So whenever you're blending out cream contour, you want to blend it up the way instead of down the way, because if you do blend it down the way, it's kind of going to defeat the purpose of contouring in general, because you're wanting to create that shadow at your cheekbones to give the illusion of like a lifted cheekbone face situation. Yeah, that blends out so much easier with the beauty sponge. So then I also just like to blend my cream contour up around the temples of the forehead. I'll zoom these out so you can actually see completely. Like just up around the temples of my forehead just to kind of connect it all. And then just do around my jawline. So just in that 3. Definitely love this. Oh my goodness. But as you can see, it's not that dark, and that's what I always look for in a cream contour, because I don't like anything that's far too dark and too pigmented, and then you're kind of like scared to go in with it, and then you're really having to work and buff and blend it out. I'd rather something that's going to be nice and creamy and easy to blend out, and if you want to build it up even further, you can. But whenever it does come to a contour, whether it be a powder or a cream, the whole idea around it is you're wanting it to look more natural, because you're wanting it to look like a natural shadow within the face. It's different whenever it comes to a bronzer, because you're wanting to add colour to the skin and you're wanting to bronze up the skin. But whenever it comes to a contour, that's why contour shades are far more lighter and they're more cool toned, because you're wanting them to be more natural, to look like that shadow within your face, to kind of give that illusion of a more sculpted face and lifted cheekbones and stuff. You can build it up if you want to, but it's just kind of nice to just have that natural look first, and then you can go in and apply bronzer just to build it up even more. So I'm going to go in with the new Fenty Beauty powder, and this is their Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Butter. I was wanting to get the lavender shade. I think it was the lavender shade, but I just kind of settled for this one first, because I wasn't wanting to spend a silly amount of money getting 2 powders in case, God forbid, I didn't like them or I didn't like the formula or whatever, and then I'm stuck with 2 goddamn powders. So I just got this one first just to try out what it's like. So I'm going to lightly set my under eyes and where I concealed first off, and then I'm going to bake with it, so I can kind of see what it's like to set, and so I can also see what it's like to bake with. Just whatever is on the cap, and I'm just going to give myself a light set, because I don't like to go in and bake straight away whenever I have a sticky base. And just my under eyes. So I just like to bring that just down the sides of my nose. I like to do my chin as well. I sometimes find that I get a sweaty chin or a sweaty upper lip. And then my smile lines, this is where I crease the most. So I usually don't like my bake to sit for too long, so I'm just now going to dust that off. So I'm now just going to go in and highlight. I have 2 highlights here. The first one I have is the Jeffree Star Supreme Frost in Frozen Peach. This wee one here, and then I also have the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt highlight in Mean Money and Hustler Baby. So I think I might go with the Jeffree Star one. I don't know, like, do you know what the thing is? I don't like to talk bad about anybody's products that is a YouTuber, influencer or whatever, but I just don't understand this formula. It's just very powdery. Okay, so next up for a blusher, I'm going to go with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Blush Trio in the shade Pool Party. I got this for Christmas. Still have not used this. This has been that long. I've been waiting to do this video, and I still haven't got a full face. These 2 shades here look a wee bit too dark. I think I'm just going to go with this shade here. I'm just going to apply this just to the apples of my cheeks. Oh, I look like a wee gremlin there. I look like a wee garden gnome. We're being so bougie today, and I'm loving it, because I kind of think that with my channel, I use a lot of drugstore affordable brands, so let me have my moment. We're using a bit of Marc Jacobs, and this is the Omega bronzer. It's so funny how I'm using such a bougie bronzer with a broken brush that is like 9 or 10 years old. The handle broke off this bronzer brush, I want to say about 4 or 5 years ago. And I don't care. That's it for the bronzer, and do you know what? It's a very nice bronzer, very lavish and luxurious, but I have drugstore bronzers that make my face look like this. I have a Poundland bronzer that makes my face look like this. Next up, at my dismay, I'm going to be doing my eyebrows on camera today. I usually do prefer a clear brow gel. No particular reason, it's just my personal preference. But I did get the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow gel, and this is their Dip Brow gel. I actually think I will apply it after I have my eyebrows done. So I'm just going to use the ColourPop eyebrow pomade in the shade Bangin' Brunette. Ooh, look how nice and nude it is. Ah. Because my natural brow hair is very thick, coarse and long, I always like to go for a brow gel that has like actual staying power in it, so not too sure if it has that, so that should be interesting to see. Don't think it looks that bad. You can definitely see where I've put it on. It's definitely lighter than the pomade, but oh well. I'm going to start on the eyes. Oh! The Anastasia Riviera palette. I have been purposely not using this to, again, use this in full face first impressions. I just kind of eyed this shade up, and this is in the shade Coastline. I'm just going to use this just as a transition, just to get that done and dusted and out of the way. I'm just going to run this just in my crease. Oh no, that's coming off a wee bit pink. Do I want it to be pink? Oh wow, we're just gonna go for it, we're just winging it. Yeah, that's like a salmon pink. So I'm just going to blend this right up to that brow bone. So I'm just next up going to go into the shade Cans, this purple shade, and I'm just going to press that on the outer corner. Ooh! Bringing it up into my crease also. So I'm just kind of blending as I go here. So I'm still just going to keep on packing and blending this Can shade just in the outer corner and blending it into the crease as well. I always panic so much whenever I'm using brand new eyeshadow palettes for the first time and like a full face first impressions, and especially the fact that my base looks so good, because I'm not too sure about fallout, I'm not too sure how it's going to blend, how it's going to perform. I can see the tiniest bit of patchiness here. It's kind of like a Subculture Volume 2. Okay, so I don't know what it is, but I'm having a bit of problem blending this out. I'm not too sure if you can see it or not, but there's like something here and it's happening here. I'm going to take a bit of that Charlotte Tilbury concealer, and I'm just going to take the tiniest bit just in like a wee fluffy brush. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm wanting this concealer to act as like my sticky base for another shadow that I want to place down. I'm going to go into this really beautiful turquoise shade. I'm guessing it's pronounced seashells, but it's not spelled like seashells, so yeah. So I'm just going to place this seashells shade just all over the inner portion of the lid, just where I place that concealer. So as you can see, I kind of done it at like a angle, not just like completely straight, because I'm now just going to go and blend these two shades together. I'm just going to be using the flat side of my fluffy brush. I'm just going to be patting that just over the blue. So as you can see, it's kind of starting to come together. I'm just going to be going back into the both shades. And then for my lipstick, I'm going to be using the Memi Luxe lipstick. This is in the shade Tease Me. It's so weird, you know, because like I'm just looking at the tip of this because, as I say, it's new. Haven't even swatched it yet. While I was off camera doing this eye, I was actually watching Raw Beauty by Chrissy, I think she's called, or here on YouTube, and I was actually watching her video on the whole scandal revolving Jaclyn Hill's new lipstick launch, and I'm now like inspecting like all my lipsticks. Oh wow. Oh, she creamy. But that's basically finished. I'm now just going to spritz my face just one last time with the Versailles facial mist. And that's all I'm going to spray because I don't particularly want to use that up because that was expensive. Look how much I've used already. Okay, my furry little friends, so that comes to the end of this video. I am obsessed with how my base looks. I think even though the Fenty Beauty foundation wasn't necessarily a first impression, I have rediscovered this foundation. My base looks absolutely flawless, but I'm also putting it down to all of the other products that I have used, combining it all together. I didn't actually use anything that I completely hated apart from the Jeffree Star highlighter. It was just a bit powdery for me. Whenever I did watch his review whenever they first came out, he was just making out that it was just God's gift, really, like he does with everything and how he actually sees himself. Talking about the palette, because it's sitting here in front of me, the pigment was perfect, beautiful, really buildable. Just not too sure about how it blended out. As you did see, I was having a wee bit of bother. Whenever it comes to the face products, like the primer and stuff, I can't necessarily give an all over review just yet because obviously I'm just finished putting this makeup on, so I just can't give anything just yet. But so far so good, loving the primer. Everything seems to be sitting on top of it perfectly. Powder, I absolutely love the powder. I'll definitely be using the powder again. The bronzer, my socks are still on. It didn't blow my wee socks off. I have a drugstore bronzers. I have bronzers that cost me $1 a pound and they just do the same. The cream contour, couldn't fault it. Absolutely loved it. Blended out amazing. I will 100% be using that again. This completes this makeup look. I hope you all enjoyed. All the products that I did use today will be listed down below in the description box, as will my Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Facebook, why am I talking about Facebook? Please do not add me on Facebook. My Snapchat, Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, add me on Snapchat. As I was saying, I'm going on holiday soon, so I will hopefully get this video up as soon as I get there. So add me on Snapchat so you can kind of come with me in my travels and keep an eye on what I'm doing. And also, anytime I do upload a video, I will always put it on my Snapchat as well. So just kind of let you keep up to date with like my uploads and stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next video.